Network marketing, MLM, direct sales. There are many names it goes by, but we all know what it involves. It's a great business opportunity, but even the most savvy salespeople struggle. If you love the products and want to start a residual business without having to go to family and friends, or if you want serious marketers joining your stellar team, this podcast will show you simple technologies you can leverage to automate the recruiting process and grow your MLM without old rusty tactics from the 70s. From the heart of Orange County, California, I'm your host, Eric Kim, and you are listening to MLM Marketers Radio. Hey guys, welcome back to my podcast. Today I want to just go over my first experiences in my first network marketing company. I remember it was back in 2012. My wife, who was my girlfriend at that time, she had a friend, and he was like, just really nice guy, came up to us. And I remember I felt kind of weird because he was being really nice. He was being too nice, more than a normal stranger or an acquaintance that, she knows or I know would. And I thought to myself, there has to be more, there has to be a catch. There has to be a reason why he's being nice. And I clearly remember the feeling right when he told us about the opportunity. I was like, oh, now it all makes sense. That's why he's approaching us. He was being really nice, overly nice to the point it's uncomfortable. And so, it was kind of awkward. And he sat us down. I think it was at a Starbucks. And he gave us a rundown of what we're going to, be going over. And then he brings out like a 2-page kind of a description on what the opportunity is. He was asking us some questions that are, somewhat personal. And of course, it was hitting all our pain points. It was very common things that everyone goes through. So, we were agreeing to what he was questioning us. And both of us felt like, okay, this is something that we can listen to, that we can go forward and hear more about. And then he lays on like the final piece of the puzzle is like, this is what it is. It's a network marketing opportunity where you can use a service if you want, but then you can also join the opportunity and make some money. Since you're using the service and you have great benefits from it, why not tell your friends and family or whoever you want to tell? So that's how it went down. And, we kind of were pressured into it, not like, he was kind of waiting for us to answer him. And we just said, okay, you know what? We looked at each other and said, let's just go. Let's just try it. So we scheduled a time on a weekend to go to one of their events where I've never been to one of these before. So I didn't know what to expect, but as soon as I drove into the parking lot, I saw a whole bunch of like nice cars in the VIP section, like right in front of the door, and everything from Mercedes to Lamborghinis and all sorts of like exotic cars. And I felt like, wow, like there's, I guess this is legit. People are making a lot of money to drive these cars, right? That's like the first initial thought that you get. But then another thought sinks in, like, kind of like you're kind of scared. Like, is this like a scam? Are they just showing these cars off in the front just to get people in? Like, who knows if these cars are theirs, right? So I had a lot of thoughts going through my head while I was parking my car. We park, we get out of the car, we walk in, and we see him. He's like texting us saying, hey, meet me in the front of the door. And he kind of guides us into the to the room. And there's a bunch of people wearing suits, a necktie. And we see a bunch of people sitting in the front row, and they're just super pumped, right? They're just like fist pumping each other and smiling, like, from left ear to the right ear. Some people had like, they're getting ready for a presentation. So we're like, okay, this is kind of interesting. I never experienced that before. So there was a stage, and they had a slideshow up showing the logo, and there was like a little speaker stand right on to the left side of the stage. And it was interesting. I was like, okay, this is like kind of weird, but okay, whatever. We'll just sit down and we'll hear what they have to say. And I remember it was like about an hour and a half of them presenting the opportunity and giving examples of people who had success. The top earners started going up there. They were like flashing their rings, their diamond rings or whatever they got from hitting a certain sales goal. I think it was like 500,000 or something like that. And then they were just showing off their cars and how fast they made the money and getting everyone pumped up. It was like a mixed crowd. Some people were like, yeah, like woohooing. And then some people were like skeptical and kind of like weirded out, just like we were. I was just like so weirded out. Like what is going on and how are these guys doing it? Just by selling this service, they're making that much money. I was just being very skeptical. But then, as the meeting went on, more and more people started going up, and they also brought on people that were an employee or were going to school, young people going up there and showing off how much money they're making and how this is a great opportunity. It got me kind of interested more and more because I was like, if they can do it, shoot, I can do it. And my wife was taking the same thing at that time. So we're like, you know what? It's not that much money. Let's just do it. It wasn't a huge investment in the beginning. They laid out like what we had to do and all the support that we're gonna get. So they're like, why don't you guys try it out first, see how you like it, and if you like it, sign up with us. So we took the form home. He put his name on there, his ID number, and we tried the service. We paid for the service, and it was great. It's a great product. I could say if I had to use it at that time, I would have used it. I just didn't have a need for it. So a long story short, we signed up and, we were tasked to do certain things. We had all the support material. We had our upline support numbers and what division we're in and all that stuff. And, the one thing that stood out to me with what they said was, guys, this is a business, okay? This is not like a side hustle or you're going to have to really work hard at this to make the money. And I was like, all right, At that time, I graduated college and I was working a job, but I wasn't like busy. I had a lot of time. And I said, yeah, let's go for it. I'll put everything I have into it. And I remember like the first couple months, I was doing exactly what they said, right? Calling people, calling around, seeing who would be interested. And it was a really neat product. So I was, using my conviction and the trust in the product to try to get people interested. And I learned a lot. It wasn't easy approaching people, but I learned a lot. And one thing I could say is I didn't get that much traction. I don't think I treated it as a business. And I wasn't engaged fully. And honestly, I was just scared approaching people. I wasn't used to it. And I wasn't like comfortable doing that. So that experience really taught me a lot about MLM, about network marketing, and just that whole experience, that meeting, that weekend meeting was just crazy for me. It was an eye-opening experience. I never saw anything like it. So that was my first introduction to network marketing world, and I hope you guys can relate. I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Hey, thanks for listening, everyone. Please remember to rate and subscribe. Now, I know it's hard to pitch when your warm market dries up. I don't find much legitimate strategies out there, especially my upline. After years of success in digital marketing and sales, I implemented the same sales funnels to this industry that are proven to auto-recruit serious marketers who have the same mindset and drive as me. I have simple strategies to keep your downline full so you don't have to use the outdated, rusty tactics that most MLMs still use today. Head over to ericmkim.com and see how you can get resources and free training. Here you'll find out the hidden revenue model that the top MLMers have been using to get paid regardless if you join them. Learn more at ericmkim.com, and thanks for listening. God bless everyone.